Hello, friends. Hello, everybody. Hi, baby boy. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good week. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you did something fun. I hope whatever you're getting up to, you're having a great time doing it. Welcome back to Miss Cassidy Creates. I am Miss Cassidy. I'm so excited to be back with you. Hi, buddy. He's being so cuddly today. I don't know what's up. I'm so excited to be back here with you all this week. I'm sorry we didn't get to do a live video together last week. We had some technical difficulties, but I'm glad that we are back in action and ready to roll this week. So I'm so excited to be learning about Jackie Robinson with you today. We're going to do an activity. We're going to learn about Jackie Robinson's history because tomorrow is the anniversary of Jackie Robinson being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So we're going to talk about how important that is and how important Jackie Robinson was not only as an athlete, but also as an activist. So I'm really excited to get into that with you. Some exciting things going on here. As always, well, not as always, but as recently developed, we do have the Miss Cassidy Creates website up and running. So if you haven't checked that out already, make sure you head over to www.misscassiddycreates.com. Check out what we've got going on over there. If you haven't signed up for our email list, do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and be putting out that first email very soon. We're going to kick it off for August. So if you want some extra activities, if you want to hear about some cool things that we've been doing behind the scenes, make sure you sign up for that email list. We have a version for our grown-ups and a version for our learners. So for my grown-ups that are watching, if you want to sign up your learner, you can get an email that comes to your account, but it'll have a video from me, an extra special video that you won't be able to find here on Facebook, just saying hi and checking in. Hello, Skylin. Hi, Skylin. Thanks for joining us. Baby boy, you're going to fall off the table if you do that. Did you see that? He started to give himself a bath, but half his body was hanging off the table. You're going to fall. You're going to fall, silly kitty. So check out MissCassidyCreates.com. Sign up for that email list. We're going to go ahead and we're going to have our activity today. We are off next week because I am doing my first in-person camp in over a year. And oh my goodness, I can't wait to see some friends live and in person. We will be back in August and we'll be posting about all those wonderful activities we're going to be doing in August sometime next week. So check that out. Stay tuned for more. Skylin, you're here. We've got other friends that are here. Awesome. I think it's time we get started. What do you think? What do you think, baby boy? Is it time? Are you just being a lazy kitty? Look at this, the audacity. Just laying right in the middle of my crafting space. What is this? All right, friends. So like I said, we are talking about Jackie Robinson today. And Jackie Robinson was a baseball player as well as an activist. I don't know if any of you are big baseball fans out there. I like baseball. I'm not sure I'm the most intense baseball fan, but I think the history of baseball is really interesting. So we're going to talk a little bit about the history about Jackie Robinson, and we're also going to make a craft. For our craft, let's make sure we talk about that so we can have all of our supplies handy. You don't need scissors. I just have those here. You need a paper plate. You need a hole punch. And then you need a long piece of string or ribbon. Oh, goodness. This is baby boy's favorite part of our activity, and he's probably going to try to attack it. You need a piece of string or twine or a shoelace or a piece of ribbon, anything you want. It can be any color you want. I have a red ribbon because that's going to help it look more like a baseball, right? We're making a baseball, but your baseball can look like anything you want. Do you want to use blue ribbon or a rainbow shoelace? Do you want to use something bright yellow? Use any color you want. We just need a string, a paper plate, and a hole punch because we're going to make our own baseball and practice doing some lacing techniques of our own. So like I said, tomorrow is the anniversary of Jackie Robinson being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And Jackie Robinson was the first black baseball player to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And not only that, he broke down barriers left and right, not just being the first black American to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, but also throughout his whole life he was breaking down barriers. So we're going to learn a little bit about him today. Jackie Roosevelt Robinson was born in Cairo, Georgia in 1919 on January 31st. His mother, Millie, raised him and his 4 siblings all on her own. And Jackie, from an early age, loved playing sports, and so did his brother. His brother, Mac, actually was a silver medalist in the Olympics. He was a track star in the 1936 Olympics, and he won a silver medal. So clearly there were some good athletic genes going on in that family. Do you like to play sports or play games with your siblings sometimes? Because I bet that helps too. You get a lot of extra practice when you have people to play with, don't you? Yeah. In high school, Jackie lettered in 4 different sports: football, baseball, basketball, and track. Now, Miss Cassidy, what do you mean by lettered? Like ABC's letters? Well, kind of. In sports, when you play sports at a school or a college, excuse me, just whacking me with his tail. When you play sports at a high school or a college, they will give you a big letter to put on your jacket that shows that you are not just representing your school, but you are also a really, really impressive athlete. So Jackie got 4 of those because he was a really, really impressive athlete in 4 different sports. So he did that in high school. And then when he went to college, he went to UCLA and became the first person ever at UCLA to letter in 4 different sports again. Super incredible skills. Okay, baby boy, you're being very cute, but you're being a little distracting. So we're just going to scoot you over there. What a silly kitty. So Jackie Robinson was a very successful... Hey! Did you see that? He didn't like that I wasn't paying attention to him anymore. Back to Jackie Robinson. While at UCLA, Jackie Robinson was a really successful athlete, but he had to leave to be able to help his family out. And once he had left, he started to live his life and, go on to be an adult and try and discover new things and try to help his family and other people too. Why don't we go ahead and we're going to take a little pause in our story about Jackie Robinson to start working on our craft, because then we can keep doing some things while we talk about Jackie and what happens after he left UCLA. So you're going to want to grab yourself a paper plate, and we're going to make this look like a baseball. Have you seen a baseball before? Yeah, probably, huh? So what we're going to do is we are going to imagine, you know how baseballs have those little curved lines where the laces go. If you would like to take a pencil and draw that on as a guide, you are welcome to. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our hole punch and we're going to make 2 little holes. If I can get my hole punch to work, there we go. We're going to make 2 little holes. Baby boy, you are just fascinated by what we're doing today. Maybe he's interested in Jackie Robinson. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a little half circle of holes. Oh, baby boy distracted me and I didn't do the right shape. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make ourselves that little half circle shape along the side. I was cutting 2. So you're going to make a shape like this, kind of like a letter C around into the baseball. So you're going to take your hole punch, and if your hole punch is a little bit smaller like mine, you might have to do a little bit of work. You might need to get a grown-up to help you. But if you kind of fold it, that can help you get in a little bit further. You can also use scissors if you've got some nearby, but we always got to be careful with scissors, right? It's a lot easier, especially if we're punching holes with our scissors. It's a lot easier to accidentally hurt ourselves, and we always got to be careful when we're using scissors. So if you're going to use if you're going to use scissors to cut your holes, make sure you're being careful. Make sure you've got a grown-up nearby to help or an older sibling like Jackie's older brother sitting around to help you out. So go ahead and make yourself... Fold this so I can get in there. Make yourself... I'm going to switch to scissors because that hole punch isn't working for me. I did this on a different version of paper plates last time, and so it's a little bit different. I'm just going to go nice and easy, poking my holes in my plate, making that nice little half circle. Poke, poke, poke. And once you have this little half circle, you're going to go a little bit further in and put one right across from those holes. This also might be a thing, grown-ups, if you are helping out. This will be a pretty quick project if you help out with it. And then our learners can help out with the lacing part. So you see how I've got 2 holes across from each other now going down? Do you see this, kitty? Why are you being so silly today? What's going on? So while you are poking your holes, or your grown-ups are poking your holes, let's talk a little bit more about Jackie Robinson. After he left UCLA, he went to Honolulu, Hawaii to play football. Wait a second, Miss Cassidy, I thought we were saying this person was a baseball Hall of Famer. Well, guess what? Jackie Robinson was good at a lot of different things. So yes, he did play baseball, and that's what we're going to get to a little bit later, but he started by playing, well, didn't start, but his first semi-professional job as an athlete was playing for the Honolulu Bears. You're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. So go ahead and keep punching. If grown-ups are doing this, thank you for your help. We appreciate it. So the Honolulu Bears were an integrated team. What does that mean, I wonder? Integrated. Well, to know integrated, we kind of have to know what the word segregated means. And when we talk about segregation in sports and in the United States, we're talking about when we separated people based on their race. So black people and white people couldn't play on the same teams in certain sport environments, in most sport environments. They couldn't go to the same schools sometimes. They had to be separated, which, as we know now, doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? And it certainly doesn't seem fair if you're being an athlete. But the Honolulu Bears was an integrated football team. So he was able to play with white people and black people and just be a team altogether. After he played with the Honolulu Bears, he ended up going into the Army. Jackie Robinson did a lot of things, my goodness. He went into the Army, and this is where we start to see Jackie Robinson really taking an interest in activism and standing up for what is right and civil rights and making sure that we all have the freedom to do what we want. He actually got in a little bit of trouble in the Army, because in the Army, you're not really supposed to question orders. But he didn't think it was very fair that his fellow black soldiers had to sit in the back of the bus. So he spoke out against it. And at first, the Army court-martialed him. Court-martialing is when they would put soldiers in front of a group to decide whether or not they had broken any rules and whether or not they get to be in the Army anymore. So they decided to court-martial him because he didn't agree with the fact that his fellow black soldiers had to sit in the back of the bus. Ultimately, the Army went, okay, you have a point, and he received an honorable discharge. So he got to leave without facing any serious disciplinary consequences. Nobody had to put him in timeout or, take away his iPad. Probably would have been a little bit more serious than that. But when you get disciplined, if something doesn't go well, that's what they would have done, but it would have been a different punishment. And they realized that didn't make sense, that he didn't deserve that. So now we've got our holes in our baseball here, and this is where we're going to start lacing. So take your ribbon or your string, whatever it might be, and this is great for my learners. If you had to have a grown-up help you with the punching holes part, that's okay. Your time has come. And you're going to push it through and pull it all the way. Leave yourself a nice little end hanging off, and you can hold that with your fingers if you want. But you don't want to pull it all the way through, because then you're just going to have to redo it. And then you're going to go across to the one right across from that hole. I'm folding my ribbon a little bit to make it a little bit easier to make it through. And then you're going to go down to the next one. So we've got that first one. It's from the ribbons out in the back now. So you're going to come up through the back of the plate. Pull it through. Oh, look at this kitty. If you have a kitty helper, they're probably not helping you out too much. They're probably making this a little bit more difficult. Excuse me. I'm trying to make a baseball. Can you let me be? Thank you. I'm impressed that actually worked. So you go ahead and you keep on lacing. And if you really want to, you can pretty much make any pattern you want. If you want to make it look like a real baseball, you do that. But if you want to get creative and you want to do some crisscross patterns or something like that, you follow your creative bliss. You do what makes you happy. And as always, friends, when we're doing a craft, remember, it's okay if it's not perfect, because guess what? Nothing is ever perfect. You just got to do the best you can do with what you have, who you are, and how you're feeling. Oh, you watch it, baby boy. I see those claws. So after Jackie left the Army, that's when... My cat is pretty funny, Vienna. I know. He's a real stinker. He's a real stinker butt. He's always causing trouble. But he's pretty cute, and he's pretty funny, and we love him anyway, don't we? We love you anyway, even if you cause trouble. So after the Army, Jackie Robinson started to play baseball. But like I said, there were a lot of sports that were segregated at this point. So when he played baseball, he had to play in the National Negro League for the Kansas City Monarchs, meaning he could only play with other black baseball players. Until somebody scouted him and saw what an incredible baseball player he was and invited him to play with the Brooklyn Dodgers, who had originally been an all-white team. All of baseball had been segregated since the 1800s, and it wasn't until Jackie joined the Brooklyn Dodgers in the 1940s, so quite a while later, that we suddenly had an integrated team. We finally had teams where people could play together no matter what color their skin is. And we know that Jackie Robinson was clearly a pretty talented athlete. We've talked about all of the things, all the sports he played when he was younger, and he came out of the gate as an amazing baseball player. The first year he played, he was given the National Rookie of the Year award. He led the league with 10 home runs, he had 12 home runs, and then he led the league with 29 base steals. If you've watched baseball before, that's when somebody sneaks in and steals the base. It's really exciting. It's one of my favorite parts of watching baseball. And it became what he was kind of known for. He was really, really good at stealing bases and getting a little bit further around the bases every time, which was intimidating. That would be a little scary for the people that are in the infield, huh? If you're playing second or third base, you want to make sure that you're not letting anybody get past you, and then Jackie Robinson just flying past, stealing that base. So let's check in with our baseball, see how this is going now. Going along down the side. Very nice. Keep going. You got it. So even though Jackie was an excellent baseball player, he still had to deal with the fact that some people were just not kind. Really unkind. Because at this time, a lot of America, and at this time throughout history and even to this day, America struggled with a lot of really serious racism and segregation, and by breaking the color barrier, by being the first black athlete to come in and be so successful, he was really breaking down massive barriers, and some people just didn't like it. He had to deal with fans calling out unkind things. He had to deal with certain players not wanting to play on the team with him. Even when he would travel with his own baseball team, he wouldn't be allowed to stay in the same hotels or eat in the same restaurants as they were, which is not very fair now, is it? Absolutely not. In spite of this, Jackie kept pushing on, and by the time he left baseball, he was one of the most successful baseball players we had ever seen. He led the league in home runs. Where's my stat? Hold on, there was a good one here. He had a lifetime batting average of 311. He led the Dodgers to 6 league championships and 1 World Series. As a base runner, he was known for stealing those bases and terrorizing the infield while he would run and catch onto things so much faster than they could even notice he was doing anything. So now I'm scooting over to the other side now. And we're going to keep lacing it right back up to the side. If you run out of ribbon, that's okay. You can get yourself a fresh piece of ribbon or string and just keep going. It is such an inspiring story, isn't it? It's just to go and show you that if you know you're doing the right thing, you can be strong in that belief. And no matter what people might say, who they don't know, they don't know any better, or maybe they even do know better and they're just being mean, bad people. If your heart is in the right place and you are fighting for what's right, that's the most important part. And Jackie did just that. He kept playing. He became a legend in the baseball world. And even after he retired, he continued to work in activism. He worked with the NAACP. He worked with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He ended up being awarded the Medal of Freedom, which is the highest honor that anyone can receive as a civilian. That means as a person who's not a military person. It's an award you can get from the president that says, you've done a lot of really good and important things. And Jackie Robinson received the Medal of Freedom. He worked really hard throughout his whole life, and he made a lot of friends along the way. I linked to a couple different things. You can check out the Jackie Robinson Foundation. There's a great page for kids talking about the history of Jackie Robinson, and even more in depth, because friends, there's so much we could talk about that we just don't have time for. We could be here all day talking about Jackie Robinson, which I would love to do with you, but you know, we got stuff to do. We got pets to hang out with, maybe even some dinner to eat, something like that. So Jackie Robinson was not just a great example of a great baseball player, but of a great human, of a person who made sure to stand up for what was right, even when it was incredibly difficult for him himself. His wife and his children had to stay by his side and make sure that they supported him the whole way too, which you gotta think has to be hard. If somebody's being unkind to you, it's not always easy to stand up for yourself, is it? But Jackie Robinson knew that he wasn't just standing up for himself. He was standing up for a whole community. And just like that, we've got a baseball. We've got a baseball that this kitty wants to eat. I don't think you would like it. I think you would, but you would not like it. So, as you can see, I did a pretty straightforward baseball pattern here, and it's not perfect now, is it? Nope. Because we're not looking for perfect things. Perfect things aren't interesting. We like things that have a little bit of character, and we also like things that show that we tried and we learned. So if you're like me and you have bunches of paper plates, you can do this a bunch of different times. You can create different patterns. You can crisscross. You can see how you get better and better each time you do it. Just like Jackie Robinson got better and better at all of the sports he played over those years, because you only get better at anything by practicing. It's the only way to get better at anything. I think baby boy needs to practice. Huh? Are you trying to practice catching ribbons? You can't have these ribbons. They're not for you. So we've got our baseball here. I would love to see if you have any photos or videos of you making your own baseball. If you did something creative, maybe you used a different color ribbon. You could color the plate before you do it if you want. You could design your own personal baseball. If you have any cool pictures or videos of you doing this activity that you want to share with me, I always, always, always love seeing that. You can go ahead and post that and tag Miss Cassidy Creates or send it to us directly. As always as well, I love hearing from all of you, and not only is it so nice to hear from Skylin and Vienna and all my friends on Facebook, but if you go on our website, MissCassidyCreates.com, I also have a P.O. box now. You can send me some artwork if you like. I have been so excited. I've received 3 pieces of art in the mail and in person. I've been decorating my studio. I'm going to share those with you next week. Since we're not going to have a video next week, I'm going to be posting little fun things throughout the week to keep up with each other. Check out Miss Cassidy Creates if you want to sign up for our email newsletter. I have a version for grown-ups and a version for kids where it's mostly videos, so that way you can get a special video from Miss Cassidy that you might not see otherwise. And as always, I have so much fun hanging out with all of you. Thank you for joining me. We are off next week. We will be back in August. We'll post a schedule next week with all of our fun August activities. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned a little something, and maybe you're going to go and learn a little bit more about Jackie Robinson. You keep on being yourself, you keep on learning, and I will see you next time. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one. Bye. Say bye, baby boy. You were the star of the video today. You just wanted to be a part of it, didn't you? Say bye, baby boy. Bye, friends.